Awesome. There we are. Okay. I think we are moving and grooving. I think. Are we frozen? Okay, we're not. Yay! Okay, so this is the deal. We are actually going to skip the song today. I'm just not finding anything that is feeling right for the morning. So tomorrow, I promise we will have another Christmas song. Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be turning up the Christmas vibes. I'm going to be going to Florida Monday morning. So I'll probably be on the road when I deliver the little astro forecast on Monday, and then maybe I'll try to take you around the hotel that we're going to be at or something, because I'm hoping it's going to be super, super magical. It was the whole reason we decided to get out of Louisiana for Christmas, is because I wanted a magical Christmas this year. So let's go ahead and get started. We're not going to do a song today. So if you've never joined me here before, my name is Bianca Adelia. I have been a professional boudoir photographer for almost 6 years, and I take this time every single morning to stop patterns that don't support self-love, and we wake up our big goddess energy by setting an intention for the type of woman we want to be that day. So at the end of this chat, I'll share my intention with you, and you're highly encouraged to share your intention with us as well. You never know who's watching. You never know who will be inspired by your intention. And then also, I felt like today would be a really great day to also talk a little bit about why I do the astrology forecast for anybody who is watching the replay and has never joined me before. So I've been loosely following astrology all of my life, and I've slowly and surely gotten a tighter grip on it as I've started to experiment some of the things that I found in astrology with my life and how they've lined up. And then this year, especially with the huge identity crisis I feel like we've all kind of been in, I really started to dig deeper into it. So I am not a professional astrologer, and I wanted to actually share my very favorite professional astrologer that I follow very, very tightly. She goes under Bahati Life on YouTube. She delivers her, when she goes in there, I think she does summaries like once a month, and then I think she does astro chats on Tuesdays. But she delivers in the exact way that I like information being delivered. She delivers all of the information. She's very grounded in her information. She's a Virgo, so she researches very diligently in her deliveries, and she's not so dreamy about her forecasts either. So I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate there not being like a dreamy spin on it. I like the very grounded delivery of her astro forecast. So she's my professional astrologer favorite of all time, is Bahati Life, and her main thing is on YouTube. But the reason why I follow astrology, and I follow specific parts of astrology, because I am someone who has struggled very, very deeply with depression. I struggle very, very heavily with self-identity and trying to figure out who I'm supposed to be in the world. I struggle very, very deeply with self-worth. And I have a big, huge inner battle that's constantly going on all the time. I wouldn't exactly call it anxiety, maybe like a silent anxiety, I guess. But I have a lot of inner dialogue that happens inside of me. And that's why I follow astrology. That's why I like to share it here with you. And so if you're here and you're still watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and dive into what we've got today. So we're not talking about Lilith, because Lilith is still hanging out where she was hanging out yesterday. She's still in retrograde of Taurus. So let's take a look at everything that's going on. Not too much has changed. I'm just going to deliver this today in kind of a different perspective, because I feel like things hit differently in different perspectives. And the thing is, too, is whenever you are listening to someone, whenever you're listening to something, what's super, super important, especially in my case where I would be an amateur pursuer of astrology, what's really important to remember is that you actually do have an immense amount of personal wisdom that you don't even know about it. There's so much unconscious wisdom. So there may be things that I say that don't even resonate with you, and you start kind of phasing out of the conversation. And then there will be other parts that I say and it brings you back in and it hangs out with you and it makes sense to you and it kind of stands out, if that makes sense. So whenever things like that happen and something I say really kind of hits you, it's your inner wisdom speaking to you, and it's something you need to explore a little bit. So let's take a look, because things are still very, very similar to yesterday. Like I said, I just want to kind of think of things in a different perspective. Every day's energy is absolutely different. So we're still in Sagittarius season in the sun. This has lots to do with our identity, things like that. So Sagittarius season in the sun, we've got about 3 more days of that. And we know the Sagittarius is kind of like the truth proclaimer. Sagittarius has bold, expressive energy. And Sagittarius is probably... Libra is unbiased, but Libra seeks balance, whereas Sagittarius just takes in and Sagittarius isn't really trying to balance anything out or anything like that, but Sagittarius loves new information. Sagittarius loves to travel and likes acquiring new experiences and things like that without like any bias on it. So the moon we see is still in Aquarius, and this is what's going to give us this really this capacity to kind of go within ourselves and explore ourselves in a more unemotional state. So yesterday we talked about how we can really develop this ability to compartmentalize our emotions and bring them out whenever it's appropriate and things like that. And another thing Moon in Aquarius can be doing is giving you lots of ideas. So you can be getting lots of like innovative ideas for the woman that you want to be, things you want to do. You might have an idea now of where you want to kind of go on with life after this big identity upheaval that we've had. So Mercury is also still in Sagittarius. And we talked about how Mercury being in Sagittarius gives you this like bigger capacity to communicate with people. But in another perspective, what we can see here is Mercury in Sagittarius really giving us this interest in what other people have to say. We may not even agree or disagree, and we don't care that we agree or disagree, but we appreciate the information. Like we want to hear what other people have to say. We want to gather more information so that we can find more conclusions within ourselves. So Venus is also in Sagittarius. So Venus in Sagittarius is, I like to think of it as our self-love sign. We just came out of Scorpio, so we had this intense, complex kind of experience of ourselves, whether or not we loved ourselves, whether or not we hated ourselves. There were lots of truths coming out, and the way that we kind of reacted to those truths could have been on a very intense level. So with Venus in Sagittarius, when we first started coming into Sagittarius, it kind of gave you this like, these new things about myself that you can find, and kind of opened up this door and this pathway. And so when it comes to like relationships as well, you might have this newfound, like you feel like you're on a quest, like a quest for newness, like a quest to find out new things about yourself, a quest to find out the new things about your partner. We're really, really interested in other people or ourselves. And this is kind of where human design kind of starts coming into play. Because in human design, if you've never looked up your body graph before, you can find that on Jovian Archive. But everyone has a different purpose. And if you have the same purpose as someone else, the way that you... the way that this purpose is expressed, or the way that this purpose is fulfilled, is through different things. And this can very much come down to right here, where we're talking about this quest for yourself or quest for others. So some people might find that they are on a quest to learn about other people so that they can learn about themselves. Or there's other people like me who need to kind of retreat inside and kind of like do this more inner journey type thing to find out about themselves. So if you haven't checked out your body graph, human design is very, very interesting. It's something that has ultimately changed my life. So I think it's Jovian Archive. You can even look up free human design body graph if you wanted to do that. But let's take a look at Mars, because Mars is in Aries, and the Mars in Aries is giving us this assertive energy. So to put this in a different perspective of things that we might see going on is that you have this assertive energy, and maybe it's this assertive energy towards yourself. So maybe you've got this higher drive to figure out about yourself, this higher drive to pinpoint exactly what it is that you want. And if you have already kind of developed an idea of what you want, maybe you're kind of pursuing that. So it just depends on where you are in your alignment, but that's the kind of energy that's supported today. So let's take a look at the conjunctions that are going on that are the closest. So we have the Sun in conjunction to Mercury, so that means those energies are working together. Sun in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius. Where I am here in Louisiana, those are being expressed through the 10th house, which is very much having to do with career, status, and responsibility. So those energies are working together. So you're trying to find your place in this world. You have this interest in other people's views, and those are enhancing each other. Since they're in conjunction, it's really amplified right now. So let's see. Let's take a look at the retrogrades really quick. And another thing that's going on is the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit today because everybody's kind of talking about it. I've even had people message me and say, hey, I've heard about this stuff going on. Can you tell me about it? And so I'm going to dive deeper into it on the 21st of December, since I like to keep mine daily. But to kind of sum it up a little bit, because it can definitely play into the intention that you might want to set for yourself today. So Jupiter and Saturn are both going to be in Aquarius. And Jupiter and Saturn are our largest planets in the solar system, and they will be the closest they have been since 1623. So they'll be the closest they've been since 1623, and it has not been visible. So you will actually be able to pull out a telescope, and you'll be able to see this. You can already start seeing it now, but they'll be the closest on the 21st, of course. But it hasn't been visible since 1226. That's crazy. So, and this conjunction, I guess they happen every 20 years, but it's a big deal right now because it's going to be visible, and they're going to be the closest that they've been in a really long time. So, this won't actually happen again until 2080, March 15th. So definitely worth going out there and taking a peek and seeing what you think. So I guess the moon, if you look at the moon, it's going to kind of line up Jupiter and Saturn. So if you look for the moon, and then around that, there should be an alignment. And they'll be super, super close, so it might look like an oval. And what was it? Jupiter is going to be bigger. It's going to be closer. So yeah, it's going to look like an oval because those two planets will be so close. It'll look like an oval star. So keep an eye out for that if you like stargazing and stuff like that. But Jupiter is going to be in Aquarius. Saturn's going to be in Aquarius. And Jupiter is our planet that likes to expand and likes to evolve. And so what that's going to do in Aquarius, since Aquarius is very much our intellectual sign, it's going to stimulate all that mental activity. It's going to have a focus on the collective and humanitarian activities. You might find that you have these original ideas that are coming out, and those are going to be more easily accepted. So if you are someone who's a free thinker, if you're someone who feels like you've been very misunderstood, you might find an ease up on that. People might be more open to hearing what you have to say. And with the moon in Aquarius, all these ideas that you're getting might very well be the woman that you want to be. So pay attention to those. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. So your Jupiter in Aquarius, you'll have that developed interest in topics, and a big thing is going to be that friendship is going to be highly favored with Jupiter in Aquarius. So we want to really be careful the friends that we're putting around ourselves, because Jupiter is expansive. Jupiter is going to want lots of friends, big friend circle and stuff like that. So we need to make sure that we're choosing the friendships that are healthy for our energy and for our soul's purpose and things like that. So Saturn is also going to be in Aquarius, and Saturn in Aquarius is going to give us the capacity to deliver those ideas with like a more confident energy. We're going to have that emphasis again on humanitarian causes. And then your sensitivity. If you're someone who is highly sensitive like I am, that sensitivity, you might find that you won't so much put it out there. You're still going to feel sensitive on the inside, but it's going to be a lot more hidden. So this also makes it very easy to communicate ideas and stuff like that, because you might feel like a kind of a detachment from your emotions in an outside world sense. So you're still going to feel them inside. So we need to pay attention that we're taking care of ourselves. But you will have this ability to be able to seem detached on the outside from the emotions, especially when communicating ideas. This conjunction has everything to do with taking the collective and all of us bringing all of our ideas to the collective, and all of us kind of working together, all of us kind of looking out for each other, all of us want to help. There's this really big emphasis on like collective energy rising. Going to Mars, baby. We're going to Mars. But let's talk about like the personal stuff that goes on, because I have so many things that I think about, and I'm like, oh, like when I talk to my friends, I have so many theories, and I don't want to talk about them here just because they're just theories and stuff like that. But we're gonna have this emphasis on the collective and getting each other to this bright new future. All of us have this supporting energy of like we want to stand together and get everybody to like a brighter future. And then we're going to have this drive to actually achieve those goals for causes. So let's take a look at what this means for kind of the next 3 days, because this is where I'm talking about could really play a role in the intention that you want to set for yourself today. So we want to be better women. We want to, not better women, but we want to unlock the next level of ourselves. We want to start showing up a different way. You know, we're trying to be our best selves. So we want to pay attention that Uranus is still retrograde in Taurus. And if you followed my videos a couple days back, we know that this means that, especially with the moon in Aquarius giving you all those ideas, right now you can kind of feel like you're in a standstill. So when the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happens, in the morning we're going to be, the moon is going to be in Pisces, and then it's going to transition into Aries. And so the moon in Aquarius, we're going to get that Aquarius and Pisces energy as far as our emotions go before this conjunction happens. So once this conjunction happens, we're going to start seeing, and this is important in realizing what we can do today to set this up. So once this conjunction happens, there's going to be lots of Aries energy as well. So there's going to be lots of drive. There's going to be lots of like, now is our time to go, is going to be kind of like the feeling, and you're going to feel very convicted in it. So right now, the best thing you can do with all of this Sagittarius energy really working in our favor, and Sagittarius wants to gather, right now, the best thing that we can do is just take it all in, trust in the universe, trust in the energies. With Uranus in Taurus, that's really stagnating us. That's really, we've got Mars in Aries, so we've got this pressure, we've got this energy building up. But with Uranus and Taurus, Taurus doesn't want to move yet. Taurus isn't ready. So we want to keep gathering. You might feel like, you might kind of feel like you're stuck. I had this feeling this morning of like, I feel like time is running out. And obviously that can be translated in a lot of different ways, but usually when I feel like I feel something, I feel like everyone feels things on a collective level. So when I feel it, I know someone else is feeling it also, because we are literally all the same things. We're just different levels of all the things. So we might feel like time is running out. We might feel this pressure. Taurus and Uranus with our ideas, it doesn't want to move yet. So we just need to keep collecting information, keep collecting ideas, and really be able to sit with ourselves, really release this idea of the anxiety. Anxiety can very much be prominent when you've got that pressure going on. So we want to let go of that anxiety. We want to be able to just really sit with ourselves and explore all these ideas. Just take it all in for these next 3 days. We're going to be moving into Pisces, which we're getting all these ideas now in the moon for our emotions, and then transitioning into Pisces is really going to open that up. And so these ideas are going to kind of float out because Pisces is dreamy. But I feel like this is going to give us the ability to, like, we're going to toss all our ideas up in the air, and then we get to look at them and see where each idea, you know, let's say your ideas look like stars. So we're tossing up our ideas, they look like stars. Once we go into Pisces, we're going to probably feel like all those ideas are stars, and then they're going to branch off into constellations. So all these ideas are going to branch off into other areas that Pisces energy is really going to let us open up to. So if we're not able to kind of sit still in this energy that we have right now, where we're really, we know something's coming, like our body knows it. I'm 99.9% sure that when I'm saying this stuff, you're like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. So we feel like time is kind of coming down to a crunch. And what we're going to see in the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is the sun is going to move into Capricorn that day. And Capricorn has everything to do with our self-image. So right now, since we're in Sagittarius, we're really trying to gather all these ideas of what we could be as far as social image, as far as social status, things like that. Once we move into Capricorn, Capricorn is that Billy Goat energy. Capricorn is the builder. Capricorn likes structure. And so one thing that's going to happen is if we take these next 3 days to really just let ourselves gather information, there's going to be that pressure because we've got this energy that we want to do things. But if we let ourselves just sit with it and see what's going on inside of our head, I feel like it's going to really, really benefit us. Once we move into Capricorn and start getting that, we're going to start moving again. We're going to start moving up the mountain. And every time I imagine Capricorn, I just imagine it's climbing up this mountain, you know, it's like a cartoon, and the mountain is like a silhouette, and the billy goat is just climbing up the mountain, and then there's a storm, and there's lightning, and the billy goat is just going. Like the billy goat is just like keeping on. So if we're not able to sit still right now in the next 3 days and really just gather all the ideas, right now we are just gathering all the ideas of who we could be and all that kind of stuff. If we're not able to come to a conclusion because we've got that feeling that time is running out, with the sun moving into Capricorn, that is really going to give you the ability to keep going. So if we're not ready to go yet, once that Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happens, that Capricorn energy is going to help us in that next 4 weeks to just keep going. We'll get there. We will get to the top of the mountain as long as we just keep going. And the Capricorn energy is going to be really fantastic for those of you who are still going to feel like you have no effing clue what you're doing. So the biggest key message here today is to not worry. Don't worry. There's a lot of stuff going on in the political environment, obviously, and so I feel like that's a cause for a lot of anxiety as well. But I do feel like with the stars lining up the way that they are, and obviously this could literally be a really bad thing that I'm doing right now, but I feel like it's going to be okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna dig deep into it, but I feel like it's gonna be okay. And this feeling is not based on anything, so I want you to take it with a grain of salt. I am not psychic. I am not any of that stuff. So just take that with a grain of salt. This is just conversation. But the way that Jupiter and Saturn are lining up, and very, very interested in other people and humanitarian things and concepts, I feel like the things that are happening right now, the things that are kind of surfacing, are just kind of like that. Yesterday I talked about getting the last little bit of that pimple out. I feel like it's just the last bit of the purge, and so it's just like these left hooks just to finish the job, you know? So next 3 days, I really encourage you. We've got like 3 more days in Sagittarius. We're already going to start feeling that Capricorn energy. I think that's where we're feeling that like, we're running out of time kind of feeling. But yeah, I think today my intention is going to be a woman who can trust the universe. Trust the universe and be present. Be present and trust the universe. That's going to be my intention today. That's what's going on in the cosmos. Thank you so much for spending your time with me this morning. It means everything to me, and I'm sending so much love to you and the woman that you're meant to be, the woman you'll be today, and the woman you'll be tomorrow. Have a very, very great day. Oh, hey! Oh, all right. I guess I zoomed off really quick. But okay, so Kelsey, hi! Hi, Tesla. Hi, Sarah. Aw, you guys are so nice with names I can't pronounce. I'll ban you. Thanks, Serena. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I will see you again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Bye.